Hi, my name is Johnny Wu, and today I'll be introducing the highlight of Taiwanese nightlife, which is the Taiwanese night market culture. Have you ever wondered where you can possibly go during the night when everything is closed, just for fun? And have you ever wondered that if there's like a place where you and your friends can go have food, hang out, and just, enjoy the vibe? Well, today I'll be introducing the highlight of Taiwanese nightlife, Taiwanese market culture. And I'm a native Taiwanese where I was actually born in America, but I moved back there for 12 years of my life. So I get the privilege of enjoying the Taiwanese night market culture. That's usually where I go when I was bored. So yeah, and after just when everything closed during the day, that's where usually the young people goes when they're bored. Then like the night market for food, for like arcade games and everything. But first, I'll be introducing the general information of the Taiwanese night market, and then I'll dive deeper into the specific of different components of the night market. Lastly, I'll be including some do's and don'ts when you're visiting a night market. Well, Taiwanese night market has been existing ever since the nation founded, which is around 100 years ago. And in the beginning, there are only one type of night market, which is the tourist night market, because there are actually four types: the tourist night market, the indoor night market, the dynamic night market, and also the street side night market. Mainly, the majority of the night market is the tourist night market because they need it to promote the economy of the region. And usually, where you go visit the like the street market, it'll be a lot more boring compared to like the tourist one, because tourist one has different types of like performing art, just a lot more activities to engage in. And there are actually four key components that makes up a night market: the food, the stores, the games, and the performing art. So after I review the general information about the night market, let's get into the specific of what a Taiwanese night market is like. Well, the first, always gotta introduce the food. Because food is actually a very big part in the Taiwanese culture, because we don't really have our own kind of food. So we kind of have to introduce different food from different countries, and we do our fusion, something like Asian fusion culture, European fusion culture. So when it comes to definitely the most famous like night market food we ever seen in like the Taiwanese history was the stinky tofu. Um, it's really the the smell is really bad, but after you taste it, everyone is like, oh, that's the first thing I'm gonna get every time I go to the night market. And moving on to the stores, people have to visit the stores in there because most of them are actually streetwear stores and discount store where you can get unique personal styling like pieces from different brands, and also a lot of discounted items that you can use, like stationaries or even just like hardware. And just there are many different kinds of stores to visit, and there's just too many to talk about in this presentation. But you definitely have to visit the stores. And then we move on to the games. That's where usually kids go. The arcade, where like they have different kinds of machine and like video games machine where adults can actually pay coins to play. And also we have the claw machine store where they set up a bunch of claw machine on the side where you can walk through the hallway and to decide which one you play. And there are different types of claw machine that they have the one that's for dolls, they have the one that's for phones, And it's really big a claw machine culture where people just compete for who can get the most out of the claw machine. And lastly, we have the performing art. The most the most well-known performing art that occurs in the night market during the night was the tiger dance and the dragon dance, where people gather around it's like a circular stadium kind of design, but in like an open door, like outdoor setting, and they have like a different costume, like dragon head and also like the tiger head. It's like a Chinese culture where they use that to scare away monsters, ghosts, and then after thousands of years of transitioning, it becomes like a traditional cultural performing art where people can enjoy the music and while watching they dance and they do like tricks like jumping from poles to poles with only 1 foot, which is pretty amazing. You guys definitely have to see it. And after introducing the key components of a night market, finally we're gonna go into the do's and don'ts in the night market. First, I'm gonna be talking about some do's. You have to bring cash because most of the store there, they don't accept credit card. They're just usually a lot of stores, what they do is they do take debit card, but definitely not credit card since they don't really want to have anything associated with the bank for taxing reason. And also to bring tissues because most of the public restroom in the night market do not have tissues. And that's a very big problem because people often forget to use restroom before they go to the night market and they have to leave early, which will ruin the experience that you can have. And also, definitely have fun and enjoy yourself. Okay, now let's get into the don'ts. Don't leave your wallet on the plane side because there are a lot of thieves going around in the night market to pickpockets. Also, definitely do not walk against the crowd because you'll get lost. Well, today we have talked about the general information on the night market. We also mentioned the key components of the night market. And we also talk about the do's and don'ts of the night market. Now, you have the basic knowledge of what to do when you want to visit a night market in Taiwanese cultural night market. And you can actually bring your friends there. And now that you know all the information about the night market, you can also just make a plan